Okay, we're going to have a look at the granny square. So this is a granny square with 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. Start from the centre and you work 1 round, 2 round, and then 3 round. So put that out of the way for a minute. We're going to start with the magic circle. So make a loop, pull your wool through the loop, and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. So there's our magic circle and then a chain of 3, and from here we're going to do a full triple stitch. So pull through, so you've got 3 on the hook, wrap round and pull through the first 2, wrap round again and pull through the second 2. So wrap round, pull it from behind and through the magic circle, pull through the first 2 and through the second 2. That is our first little cluster of 3. You can see that all the stitches are in clusters of 3. Let's get rid of that loose bit. So to turn a corner you do 2 chain, 1, 2 chain, and then start again to make your second cluster. So through, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, turn, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and the last one is 1, 2, 3, and chain 2. Now to finish off our first square we need to go back through this first stitch. So if you look, you can see 1, 2, 3 stitches, and you're going in between the first and the second one. So it's actually between your chain and your first stitch, and then you just slip stitch. Once you've got that joined, you can then pull your magic circle in, and there you can see your first square. So from there, tuck your little tail end out of the way. Okay, so now to start round 2 we need to come out from your original square to get started, and because we're doing a triple stitch we need 3 chain. That counts as your first triple stitch. Now what we're going to be doing is in the corners we're going to be working into these big holes, 3 and 4. So on this first one it's going to feel almost as if you're going back on yourself. So wrap your wool round and into that big hole there. Pull through 2, wrap round and pull through again. Okay, so that's the first half of that corner. As you work your way round you'll do the second half of that corner at the end. What we're going to do now is work across the side and between, so on the sides you just do 1 chain in between your clusters. So then into the next corner, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3, and then we chain 2 because we're turning a corner, and then going back into that same one again, you need to finish 2, 3, so that's that corner finished. Now to go across along this straight we need to chain 1 in the middle and then into this corner, 1, 2, 3, chain 2 because we're on a corner, and then finish the other half of that corner, so into that same hole again, 2, 3. So to go along the straight, just pull some wool out. To go along the straight we do 1 and then into that next big corner, so 1, 2, 3, chain 2 and into that same hole again, 1, 2, 3, along the side, so we chain 1, and now we're going back into this first corner again, and we're going to do the second half of that corner. 2, 3, chain 2, and then we're going to slip stitch between your chain and that first stitch again. So you've got 1 there. If I pull it so you can see, you've got 3. 1, 2, 3, and you're going in between there. You're not making a stitch, you're just slip stitching. So go through, pull your wool from behind, and instead of wrapping round, you just pull straight through like that. So there's round 2 of our square. Round 3. So because we're starting and we're doing a triple stitch, we need to chain 3, and that counts as our first stitch. Just pull some more wool out. And then we're going into this one here. So, no, I've gone through both. So just undo that. 2, 3. Now, working along the side, we just do 1 in between the clusters, and we're now going into this middle. So 1, 2, 3, chain 1 again, because we're on a side, not a corner, and into the corner, so into that big hole in the corner. 1, 2, done it again, 3, and then chain 2. Turn the corner back into that same hole again to do the second half of that corner. 2, 3, working along the straight, so we do 1 chain and into that middle one. 1, 2, 3, chain 1 into the corner. 1, 2, 3, chain 2. Finish off that corner, go into the same hole again for another cluster of 3. And then, because we're working on the side, we just do 1 chain and then into the side row. 2, chain 1 and then into the corner. 1, 2, 3, and then chain 2, and then 1, 2, 3, chain 1, because we're now working along the edge, into that middle one. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and into that corner, so into that first corner again, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, chain 2, because you're now on the last corner, and slip stitch in, and there is your little granny square. So you can make these as big or as small as you like. You can stop at just 1 round and do tiny little ones. You can change the colour as you go round. They're so versatile. And then eventually the plan is you can make lots of squares, and then I can teach you how to crochet them together to form blankets in different colours, handbags, purses. There's all sorts you can do with granny squares. So if you wanted to finish here, you just cut your wool and then chain 2, 1, 2, and just pull that wool right the way through and pinch it down. So that's the front of your granny square, and that's at your back, and you know it's the back because that's where the tail is from your magic circle. So you can pull that a bit tighter if you want. Give that a trim, and there is your first granny square.